These exercises are all great for hip mobility. In life, a lot of our exercises are all done in this plane of motion, and we want to think about opening out the hip joints and moving the hips in different ways. So we'll just start by getting the girls' hips nice and warmed up. First of all, we're going to open the gate, so you bring the knee to hip height, open out wide and back round. You want to do about 4 to 6 repetitions, opening the gate on both sides. Lovely. Once you've done that on both sides, we're going to get the hip swings going. So make sure the spine stays in neutral. You're just going to kick the foot forwards and backwards. So it's important here that the spine and the pelvis stay in neutral and there's no arch in the lower back as you kick the leg backwards. I'd go for about 8 to 10 leg swings on each side. Once you've done each side, we need to start thinking about warming those glutes up. So a lot of hip problems stem from the glutes not working properly. We're going to warm up those hips by turning the foot out, 90-degree angle. Again, keeping the hip bones pointing forward, standing nice and tall, watching that lower back. And you kick that foot back, engaging the glute muscles as you kick back. So really keeping that pelvis nice and stable, squeezing the glute as you kick back. So it's more about that movement back than forwards as you kick. Lovely. I'd go for about 10 to 12 on each side for this exercise. Lovely. Once you've warmed up both sides, we're going to come down to the mat and come into our all fours kneeling position. And we'll start with the donkey kick. So it's important that you have your shoulders stabilized, core engaged, spine in neutral position. And you're going to keep the knee at a 90-degree bend and you're going to push your heel up towards the ceiling. Here, again, we want to lift the belly, engaging the core and keep the spine nice and neutral. Make sure the pelvis is in a central position and you kick the foot up and then back to center, squeezing the glutes, working through opening and extending those hips. Nice. So just watch, you've got equal weight through the hands and the shoulders. This one's really important you do in front of a mirror because it's hard to notice whether your hips are in that central position or not. Lovely. So 8 to 12 on each side. Good stuff. Again, engaging the core, pulling the rib cage down towards the hips. It's almost like a drawstring, pulling the ribs down to keep the spine in neutral. Perfect. When you've done 8 to 12 on each side, come down onto your side, resting the head in the hand. Your knees are going to be bent and your heels are going to be in line with your bum. I'm going to get Jess to do this one with a band sitting around her knees. So just pop it about here, above the knees on the thighs. This is going to make the exercise a lot harder, so make sure your glutes are already strong if you're doing this one. Your heels want to be in line with the bum. Okay, you want to create a little gap between the rib and the hip to work into that waist a little bit. From here, all you're going to do is lift and raise the top knee up as high as you can, opening out the hip joint and then back to center. I'd go for 8 to 10 on each side. Keep breathing through, keep the core muscles engaged. Try not to let the rib cage lift. Use your out breath to help you lift the knee up to the top. And your inhale to bring the knee back to center, if that helps. If not, just keep breathing through. The most important thing is that you're engaging your glutes. So if you're not sure, just place your hand onto that top glute and make sure it's engaging as you lift the knee. Perfect. Okay, coming onto your back now, and Jess, you can take the band off. We're going to go for knee falls out to each side. So basically we want one leg at tabletop position. Good. Make sure you've got that neutral spine, core engagement, pull the rib cage down and then bring the second leg to tabletop. Okay, before you've done all this, it might be worth having a little look at the core video just so that your tummy muscles are nice and warmed up and ready for this exercise. What we're going to do from here is keep the left knee perfectly still. We don't want the left knee to move at all. The right knee falls out to the side with control and then back to center. So for some of you, this is going to be quite a small movement. These girls have got strong abs and flexible hips, so they can take their knee quite far out to the side. For some of you, it's only going to be a little movement before the other knee starts wobbling. Again, 8 to 10 reps on each side, making sure that you keep those hips nice and steady. Keep breathing through, using that out breath to help you. So that out breath helps engage the core and make the exercise easier. Lovely. Once you've done your hip falls or your knee falls, you're going to go on to the other side and do your other clamshell. We're not going to show that today, so just pause the video and do exactly the same on the other side. And that, folks, wraps up our hip mobility video. If you've got any questions, just get in touch. If not, come and visit one of my Pilates classes where we often do lots of hip mobility work. Thank you for watching.